Nation Network. What's going on? Hey, it's CBV, Chris Van Vliet, and you guys are crushing it. I want to send you a big congratulations on the 2,000 subscribers. And I love that everybody's kind of jumping on board here and realizing how great the content that you're putting out is. So for the community, a big thank you for being part of the Nation Network. And you guys are just getting started. Woo! Keep it going.
Throw the third switch! Not the third switch! Throw it at Kay! Throw it!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Welcome you wrestling fans, everybody here to the Nation Network, where we are 1 week removed from the Parade of Champions, where we crowned a brand new world champion here. We're going to be hearing from that new champion along with perhaps some logic behind what took place in that big match. We'll be back with more in just a moment. A little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are like the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody. All right, good evening, wrestling fans, and once again, we welcome you back here to the Nation Network. This is world-class championship wrestling, and I am Mark Florence. What we saw take place in Dallas, Texas, inside the biggest sports complex that we have here in the state of Texas, It was absolutely unbelievable. A lot of people still cannot believe what took place at the Parade of Champions, a new champion crowned, but not just a matter of the fact that there is a changing of the guard, but how it happened. We understand there's a lot of fallout coming as a result of what took place in that main event between Kevin Von Erich and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. That is about to come to a head here tonight, because I understand that the Nature Boy Ric Flair is here tonight with a message. We also know, of course, the champion is here as well. He'll have a non-title match. We also have a brand new Texas heavyweight champion. And we are about to take our first look at him in just a moment as we get ready to kick things off here. This is World Class Championship Wrestling. All right, fans, I can tell you right now, the buzz in this building tonight is unlike anything I've ever seen before, and I've been around for quite some time. Our opening contest, we take a look at Bugsy McGraw being accompanied by Gary Hart. One thing for sure about Bugsy McGraw is he's a different style of professional wrestler. Unorthodox, to say the least. Unpredictable? You betcha. One thing about Bugsy McGraw, just when you think you figured him out, he's got a whole new side of him. Gary Hart has been very big on Bugsy McGraw. And now we're going to get our first look at the brand new Texas heavyweight champion, Chris Adams. Gentlemen, Chris Adams heading towards the ring now. Wearing proudly the Texas Heavyweight Championship title that he was able to secure at the Parade of Champions. Adams is no stranger to Gary Hart and the levels of deceit that he will stoop to get his men victories. That title not on the line here in this one, but you better believe that Bugsy McGraw is looking to score a major victory here tonight at the expense of gentleman Chris Adams. Both men preparing. Look at this. Sign of sportsmanship right in the middle of the ring there. I'm not sure Gary Hart approved of this. Bell sounds, action's underway, and they go to collar up, and instead, Bugsy with a leg sweep takes him down. One thing about Bugsy McGraw you have to know is he is capable of wrestling just as well as anyone else, but we mentioned earlier, very unorthodox, very unpredictable. You never really know what you're going to get when you step into the ring with Bugsy McGraw. Oh, and there you go. Goes from a handshake to biting the forehead of Chris Adams, and just like that. And now it is McGraw with that big elbow to the back of the head and neck of the champion. Irish whips him to the ropes, comes back out front. The two collide. See Gary Hart there at ringside getting a bird's eye view of his man, and this is going to prepare him the opportunity to share some insight during the match that might indeed be enough to give Bugsy the upper hand. And that's not even discussing the possibility of the outright distraction that Gary Hart himself has been to many an opponent. Want to welcome everyone joining us here live on the Nation Network for World Class Wrestling. Andrew Roberts in the house. And now Adams has him in a package suplex. Nicely done. I thought he was going to cradle that leg for a pin attempt. Referee standing by closely to keep an eye on this one. Chris Adams, originally from England, felt that the competition was the best here in the United States and specifically at world class. Be very hard to argue that logic, as Bugsy McGraw just came up and gave him a little of that competition. Bugsy the veteran. Chris Adams still on the way to the top of his career, but he has definitely strapped a rocket to himself by winning that Texas championship back at Parade of Champions last week. Nice move right there, and he cradles, hooks the legs. Oh my goodness, what an innovative move right there by gentleman Chris Adams, and Gary Hart doesn't like what he's seeing. Distracting Adams, and now Bugsy gonna try and take advantage, and he does. Going after the left knee, and Gary Hart just threw a steel chair into the ring. Adams has him up for what has to be a devastating variation of a suplex. Bugsy McGraw not moving, and now Chris Adams goes to the top rope. He thinks he's got it. Comes crashing down, and Bugsy is in trouble. Chris Adams going one more time to the top, and the crowd now starting to cheer. Big elbow finding the mark, and Bugsy McGraw once again. Gary Hart distracting the official. Chris Adams with that big kick right to the head. Bugsy's out. Will that be enough for the win? There's one. There's two. He got it. Chris Adams proving why he is the Texas champion. Well, we're taking a look back at some of the replay of this one. That was a close call right there. I still think it's going to be interesting to find out how Gary Hart feels about this situation. He's not interested in having men that come up on the short end of the stick, and that's what just happened here. There's no shame in this one, though. If you're Bugsy McGraw, the Texas heavyweight champion, getting the win to kick us off here tonight. We'll be back with plenty more world class. Stay with us.
It's not WrestleFest on the arcade. It's not WrestleMania on the NES. It's not No Mercy on the N64. It's just a gunshot away from those fine retro games on Project 64. Retextured, remodeled, right on your home PC. I'm aboard, but watch your step. It's the all-new WWF Legends Challenge 64.
All right, fans, we are back and heading toward the ring, and this time he is the brand new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Kevin Von Erich. And he's got something to say. We'll find out exactly what is on the mind of the man who defeated the Nature Boy Ric Flair a week ago.
First thing I want to do So I want to let everybody out there know why I did what I did 1 week ago in Dallas, Texas. You see, I knew going into that match I had two choices. One is I could wrestle Ric Flair and have a hell of a wrestling match. And I knew that it would get to that point where I was about to defeat him. And then without fail, he would pull some dirty trick out of his little bag of tricks. And he'd walk away with the NWA World title. Or I could beat the devil at his own game. Now, I know not everybody agrees with what I did. But Ric Flair, now you know what it's like to lose a championship due to some underhanded tactics. See, me and my family, we've been putting up with that crap from you for far too long. The NWA has kept that championship title out of the Von Erich name for far too long. And I knew I had to take advantage of the opportunity when it arose. And that's exactly what I did. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be proud.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. We knew he was in the building. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, not at all happy as he heads to the ring. I don't know what to say.
You think you taught the devil his due, is that what it is? Well, let me tell you something right now, son. You have proven nothing. I'm going to let you in on just a little secret, all right? When I say I'm the dirtiest player in the game, woo, it's because I can prove it night in, night out. You know something, Rick? I knew you'd be back. I knew you'd want more. And I knew you weren't going to be happy with the way that match ended. But now, I'm glad I'm standing eye to eye, nose to nose with you. So you can know what it feels like to be on the losing side of a screw job like that. You think I'm on the losing side? I'm here to deliver a little bit of a message to you, my friend. You see, I've had my lawyers talking to the officials at the NWA, and they've watched the video, and that was not an ODQ match. The referee was in on it. This whole thing was a home-brewed win for you. Look, you can say whatever you want about the referee, about it being in the great state of Texas. Fact of the matter is, I did beat you at your own game. What you don't seem to understand is I'm the man who devised the rules, the man who came up with the underhanded tactics. And after watching the videotape, guess what? The NWA Championship Committee has empowered me to let you know that I am once again the NWA World Champion. What the hell are you talking about? I am the NWA's World Heavyweight Champion. You want that title? I'll give you another match, but you ain't gonna walk out of here with it tonight, no sir. Well, here's a little wake-up call for you, Junior. It's a done deal. That title is mine, lock, stock, and barrel. And the next time you and I, or anyone else that named Von Erich gets in the ring, it will be in neutral territory. And I'm going to make sure we got a real referee. What you got is a bunch of excuses. What you don't have is the NWA World Heavyweight Championship title belt. So you can call yourself a champion if you want to. But everyone here knows the last time you stepped in the ring, you lost to the name Von Erich. And something you better understand. Right now you are in Texas. You are in my backyard. You're in my house. And I'm about done showing you a good time. So if you're smart, you'll get your ass out of this ring and out of this arena and out of the state of Texas while you still can.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. Who is the NWA champion right now?
Attention wrestling fans, if you're having a great time here on the Nation Network, then we encourage you to go visit Dre 41 right after this program. Dre 41 with some of the greatest hockey action you've ever seen, featuring games from Japan that you won't see in the United States. Whether it's professional wrestling, boxing, or just an overall good time, get spicy with Dre 41. It's time to grab your popcorn and your soda. Get your favorite candy. And get ready because we are going to the movies. We're going to be watching and reviewing some of the most iconic movies featuring superstars of the world of professional wrestling. Will it be thumbs up or thumbs down? We'll give you our thoughts. You give us yours. Come check us out as we review some of the greatest titles in its genre. Make sure you check out the Nation Network as we take you to the movies.
All right, wrestling fans, we are back once again for more world-class championship wrestling. During the break, I've been given some news. And what Ric Flair stated is true. The NWA Championship Board has met, and they have deemed that due to the actions that took place at Parade of Champions in Dallas, Texas last week, Ric Flair is reinstated as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. That said, my understanding is that Kevin Von Erich still possesses the championship title belt. How that is going to all be played out, I don't know. But we do know that Kevin Von Erich will be in the main event later tonight. In the meantime, we're going to send you back up to the ring here in just a moment for some tag team wrestling action. All right, they made their debut here on the Nation Network at Parade of Champions. Steve and Sean, the Simpsons. And they're going to be tested against one of the top tag teams anywhere in the world today, making their return to the world-class area for the first time in a very long time. They're known as the New England Sheepherders, Luke and Butch. And here they come, heading down towards the ring. And these two guys, I'll tell you what, we talked about Bugsy McGraw earlier on tonight being unorthodox and unpredictable. He's got nothing on these two, I can tell you right now. They're a couple of french fries short of a Happy Meal, but don't let that dissuade you because they are a very accomplished tag team, and the Simpsons are going to have their work cut out from here tonight. Looks like Steve is going to start things off. And right away, locking up. Butch taken down, nicely done, and Simpson continues. Thus far, the Sheepherder has done absolutely nothing to even attempt to fight back. I'm not sure what's going on here. Perhaps some jet lag. Free fall, back elbow, finding the mark. To the ropes he goes, back out front, drops another elbow. Something definitely appears to be Luke absolutely doing nothing to fight back in this match. Big right hand, and I'm sure Steve Simpson is trying to figure out why. Oh, hold on just a moment. He caught the leg this time. Back heel trip takes him down. Perhaps he was just playing possum as he went for a Boston grab, but too close to the ropes. Aside from being unorthodox, unpredictable, these two gentlemen can take one hell of a beating. We've seen them in some drag out, knockdown wars. Simpson now coming up with a monkey flip. Nicely done. Takes him all the way over and back over to the corner. Butch Miller now in there with a nice deep arm drag. Takes him all the way over. And there's the tag made. And now Sean Simpson gets his first taste of action here tonight. Back elbow right to the jaw. Irish whip to the ropes, back out front, shoulder tackle, nicely done. And Butch in control. These sheepherders, they are tough as nails. You talk about some of the battles they have had around the world, especially in places like the great country of Mexico. They're more comfortable in a match where the rules are relaxed. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see them get themselves disqualified in a match like this one where the actual rules are being applied. But thus far doing a good job of getting back after a very slow start to the match. Now Sean Simpson taking a lot of abuse at the hands of Butch Miller. Nice move right there by Simpson. Side leg sweep takes him down. And once again, welcoming everyone here to the Nation Network. Hoping you're having a very great post-holiday season. Shout out to Juan Cordero joining us here live for World Class Wrestling. Reaches up, makes the tag. And Luke is the legal man in the ring. Over the top he goes, back out front, and there's a shot to the back of the leg. Follows it up with a shoulder tackle, and a clothesline. Down he goes. Fabulous Freebirds, of course, are the world-class tag team champions, and both of these teams would love a crack at that title. Luke has got him, and look at the power slam. Strength on display there as he just deadlifted Sean Simpson and walked him around the ring. Goes for the cover, hooks a leg, and he got the win. The Bushwhackers pull one out. Almost, I dare say, made it look easy. Well, these sheepherders, they're the real deal, no doubt about that. Cover, hooks the leg. There's two, and there's three. As for the Simpsons, they're going to have to try again. But tonight, the sheepherders proving that they are a force to be reckoned with here in world class. Fans will be back with plenty more action. Stay with us.
Wrestling fans, if you're enjoying the content here on the Nation Network, we encourage you to check out Blazed Radio. Join Blaze for his unique take on E-Fed Wrestling.
Hey, Walker. There's a shotgun stunner, but long through the table at the same time.
From 2K to AEW Fight Forever, as well as talk show podcasts and NFL Red Zone coverage.
I love that I can listen to football commentary where the important conversations happen, like the rack on the ref.
As soon as we're finished here, jump over to Blaze Radio and tell him Vince sent you.
fans, we are back once again, and again, more news still coming in. The NWA officials are trying desperately to reclaim the NWA Championship title belt. Kevin Von Erich refusing to sacrifice the title. He will still be having it around his waist, to the best of my knowledge, later tonight when he steps in the ring for that main event. And what a night of wrestling it's already been. We're getting ready to bring you another exciting match featuring two of the top talent here at World Class. Jake the Snake Roberts getting ready to go up against the Spoiler. Get ready for the action.
Trust me.
As we take a look at Jake the Snake Roberts, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Gentleman weighed in at almost 270 pounds, some 6'7". He is a big individual and lives up to that moniker, Jake the Snake, because inside that duffel bag that he carries with him is an enormous python. And many of his opponents have had the unfortunate luck to meet up with the man of the snake, I should say, that he refers to as Damien. And Roberts slithers into the ring. Has a finishing maneuver that he refers to as the DDT. Drops the man straight down on his head. We've seen other people use that maneuver here in World Class, but nobody does it the way he does. And now we take a look at his opponent, the Spoiler. Not a lot known about the man himself, but we do know about the wrestler, and he's very successful here in World Class and around the world. He is a recognized name throughout the world of professional wrestling. He has been under just about every banner there's ever been. This ought to be a tremendous matchup between two top talents here at World Class. Not sure I could put money on this match and feel at all comfortable. This promises to be one heck of a barn burner of a match. We'll see if these two guys have brought their A game tonight. They better have, because if you haven't, it's going to be a short night, I can assure you. Both of these men capable of ending a match very quickly. And Roberts right away goes to the side slam. As the Spoiler getting up from that one, but now trying for it look like a belly-to-belly suplex. Roberts having nothing to do with it. And now Jake Roberts winding up the arm. Hoists him up into the air. Thus far, the Spoiler has been on the losing end of this one from the get-go. Nice backbreaker right there by Jake Roberts. And the Spoiler with a big uppercut. Follows it up with a clothesline, and down goes the native of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Going to work right now on the head and neck area. Here's the Irish whip into the ropes. He goes back out front. The two men collide. And once again, nobody gaining the advantage. Roberts winding up that arm again. Putting all kinds of torque on the left shoulder. Jake the Snake Roberts hammering away on the head of the Spoiler. whether it be the world-class heavyweight champion Kerry Von Erich, the Texas champion, gentleman Chris Adams, or hard to say, is he the world champion or not, Kevin Von Erich? And look at this, Roberts got the win. I was just going to say, both of these men want a victory so that they can claim a shot at one of the champions. And Jake Roberts is going to be the man who claims the win as we see him coming off the middle rope, driving that elbow right into the head, knocking him out. My goodness. Massive victory right there for Jake the Snake Roberts. And now wait a second, he's looking at that bag. This could end very badly for the spoiler. Oh, there it is. 10 foot of pure python, and the referee doesn't want anything to do with this. I don't want to have anything to do with this. We're going to go to commercial. We'll be back with more World Class in just a moment.
Wrestling fans, right after this program is done, enter the danger zone. Jump over and check out J-Rock 73. Tell him Vince sent you.
All right, fans, welcome back once again. More World Class Championship Wrestling as we get ready to send you right back up to the ring. Another member of the Von Erich family here for you tonight, David Von Erich, as he gets ready to go one-on-one with the Wild Man, Bill Irwin. Bill Irwin from Duluth, Minnesota, making his entrance. Has been known as one half of a team called the Long Riders, along with Scott Hawk Irwin, but right now he is going it alone here in World Class Championship Wrestling. Shout out to Freddie and Dwight Race joining us here live on the Nation Network for World Class Championship Wrestling, WWE2K18. Wow, Bill Irwin going to have a lot to handle here tonight. Here he comes, David Von Erich. A lot of people thought he was going to be the next in line for the World Championship match with the Nature Boy Ric Flair, but it ended up being Kevin Von Erich, chosen by the Championship Committee. Been a great deal of politics going on behind the scenes here as far as the Von Erich family is concerned. And we heard from Kevin earlier on tonight about why he did the things he did in order to secure that win back at the Parade of Champions. We also heard from the Nature Boy Ric Flair earlier tonight. And according to him, and I have had it verified by sources in the back, the NWA Championship Committee has indeed stripped Kevin of the title and returned it to the Nature Boy Ric Flair based on how Kevin Von Erich won that match. While Bill Irwin comes right out with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex, and David Von Erich early on playing some defense in this one. Irwin is about as tough as they come. I'll tell you right now, when you talk about a street fighter, this is not a kind of guy you want to get into a barroom brawl with. Takes David, turns him inside out. Big right hand to the head. And right now, Von Erich not doing so well. Still to come, Terry Bam Bam Gordy will go one-on-one with Kevin Von Erich. The NWA may not consider him the NWA's World Heavyweight Champion right now, but I can assure you the folks in this building here at the Sportatorium will. There's a belly-to-belly suplex, nicely done, and David taking over the reins. Some hard right hands to the side of the head. And now Irwin finds himself on the defensive end. Went for the clothesline. Nice move right there. David Von Erich takes him over. This crowd solidly behind David as he continues to pummel away on Bill Irwin. Belly to back. I thought he's going to go for a suplex. Atomic knee drop. Bill Irwin may be a couple of inches shorter at the end of this match if he takes a couple more of those. Von Erich waits him. And big right hand sends him crashing here to the floor at the Sportatorium. Fans, if you're ever in the Texas realm, we invite you to stop by the Sportatorium and check out the best wrestling action anywhere in the world. Right hand to the side of the head, and now follows up with a big boot to the midsection, and now another one. Referee's count winding up to 6 at this point in time. These two gentlemen better pay attention if they don't want to be counted outside the ring. Irwin throws him back in, and now follows up with a right hand. And David Von Erich walks him over, drops him head first across the turnbuckle. He might be out. What a whiplash effect that had, but he comes out the back door. As I stated early, Bill Irwin can take one hell of a beating and still keep on coming back for more. Clothesline right there. And Irwin, what's he got in mind? From the middle rope, he wants him on his feet. The Wild Man with the axe handle to the head, and David Von Erich might be done. Drives that knee into the chest, goes for the cover, hooks the leg, gets 2, and David Von Erich comes out the back door. Crowd on its feet. They thought David was about to be defeated, and I don't think any of them thought that the Wild One, Bill Irwin, was going to be able to pull that off. Just drove him hard into the canvas, and again, Irwin trying again for that axe handle. This time it didn't happen. Has him by the throat, back heel trip, and takes him down, bouncing the head of Von Erich off the canvas. A glancing blow that time as Irwin trying to use the leverage of the middle rope. Here's 2. Oh, and he just barely got that shoulder up off the canvas. Looked like he was going to pull out the win. This would be the biggest win in the career of Bill Irwin as far as I can figure. David Von Erich is going to have to figure out some way to turn the momentum of this one around because Bill Irwin is in complete control. There's a back elbow that got the attention of Mr. Irwin. And now ties him up. Oh, here comes the claw. He's put a lot of men away with this one. Will he add one more to that list? While Bill Irwin is in trouble. And there's that claw hold one more time. Has it on the head. Referee's going to see if he wants to submit. Not too many people able to survive the grasp He is putting that thing on. Irwin may be done. Von Erich brings him back to his feet. Could have probably gone for the pin and gotten away with it right there, but decides to administer some more punishment. As he now goes into that rear chin lock, gonna wind him down. Irwin working his way back to a vertical base. There's an elbow to the midsection. Another elbow. Into the turnbuckle he goes. And now what? Von Erich on the top rope. Bill Irwin setting up. I can only imagine what he's got in mind here. Going all the way to the top rope. Superplex. That's got to be it. Doesn't hook the leg. We'll see if it matters. He kicked out. This crowd coming unglued here at the Sportatorium. And now Von Erich comes up with a tremendous arm drag. Couldn't hold him. And Bill Irwin dropping him on the back of his head. Many people consider Bill Irwin to be a top contender for the Texas Championship. And now look at the bear hug. He's going to try and draw a submission from David Von Erich. Let's see if he's able to do it. The referee is right there to ask him if he wants to give it up. He never submitted, but he may have passed out. The lack of oxygen. Oh, this is a big mistake in my opinion right now. Bill Irwin taunting the ringsiders. And nice move right there to block the hold. Oh, and retaliates with one of his own. Both men still have plenty of fight left in the tank, it appears. Irwin has him in the corner, and now look at this. Turns it around. David Von Erich perching him on the top turnbuckle. I'm telling you, these two guys have really dug deep into their bag. From the middle rope, superplex. Von Erich has him back up on his feet now. Let's see what he's got in mind. Once again, putting him up, perching him on the top rope. Gonna try and hit him with another superplex. My goodness, that's gotta be it. You don't get up from two of those. The impact is absolutely amazing. You have to be here live to understand the force of the body meeting the mat. This crowd is on its feet now as David Von Erich, oh, he just got caught. And he is bleeding. Von Erich is been split open. Irwin drops him on that top turnbuckle, and now, what a suplex. Von Erich might be in a lot of trouble, maybe more than he can handle at this point. Hook and oh, look at it. He's got his feet up on the ropes. You've got to be kidding. Referee doesn't see it. And David's still able to come out the back. What a tremendous matchup we're getting out of these two men, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the blood. The referee may have to step in and take a look at this. Hip toss, beals him out to the other side of the ring, corner to corner, post to post. Shout out to Big JH and Primetime joining us here live on the Nation Network. While Bill Irwin continues to try and get the best of David Von Erich, but he keeps coming. Oh, there's the claw! And down he goes. Shoulders are down. Where's the referee? Referee trying to see if he wants to submit. has really got that thing tightly wound in there. And Irwin rolls out to the safety of the floor, and if you can believe that's a safe place to be, it is compared to being in the ring inside the Iron Claw. What a night of wrestling it's been right here on the Nation Network. World class at its finest. David Von Erich, we may need a doctor to come down to ringside and take a look at the wound on the head. The blood clearly getting into the eyes of David Von Erich, and that's going to leave him at a severe disadvantage as this match continues on. Oh, my goodness. Bill Irwin pulling out all the stops, trying to figure out what do I have to do to keep this guy down for a count of 3. Driving that knee into the chest. Irwin hooks the leg. Will this be it? No! And Irwin can't believe it. This crowd can't believe it. The heart in David Von Erich, the size of Texas itself. These two men have really pushed the boundaries as well as each other to their limits. And now David somehow finding the wherewithal deep inside to fight back. Pummeling him into the corner, snaps him back out towards the middle of the ring. And now Von Erich setting him up. Goes for the cover, thinks he might have him. There's 2. He did get him. Bill Irwin basically gave everything he had until he had no more. That was an unbelievable matchup. Irwin had plenty of opportunities to come away with the win, but came up just short at the end of the day. We take a look at the replay here. Some unbelievable action in this one. And another big victory for David Von Erich. He's going to need some medical attention to attend to that wound right there on the top of his head. But it won't bother him so much knowing he got the win. When we come back, it's time for the main event. Stay with us.
So my entire life, I knew that I always wanted to be able to give back and help others, especially financially, because that's something that I never really had. And around the same time that I found Camper, I got my first big YouTube paycheck of $7,000. So I decided at that point I would start Camper Cares, a charity project inspired by Camper to help animals, families, and fosters. And so Camper Cares was born, and every month since we have been donating a part of our ad revenue to animals, families, and fosters in need. Today, we are at Underdog Rescue in Moab. Underdog services the Four Corners area in Navajo Nation. It is a really special area that needs constant help and attention. Recently, the median household income here is $20,000. Unemployment rate is near 50%, and around 1/3 of the homes don't even have running water or electricity. Not only that, there are stray dogs everywhere. Just in Navajo Nation, there are 250,000 stray dogs. And in the Four Corners area, around 500,000 stray animals. The worst part is the life expectancy of a res dog is only 2 years old due to the lack of food and water, the harsh elements, predators, and life-threatening injuries. So I am so thankful for rescues like Underdog, especially because there are 4 other shelters in this region, but they are high kill shelters, and 93% of those animals in there are killed. Not to mention, there are only 2 vets serving the entire Navajo Nation. This area needs our help. I am so thankful for rescues like Underdog, who are doing such amazing and important work. They really, truly deserve it all. And thank you so much to all of you for making this possible and for making my dreams come true. And just by watching, making a dent in this big problem.
All right, well, Camper got a hold of my credit card last night. You want to show him what we got him? We got you guys. I'm so excited. 1,000 pounds of dog food. Except one 1,000 pounds of dog food will last this rescue about 1 month. So let's just say we need a lot more. So if you want to help, I'm going to put some information in the description with an address where you can send it or a link where you can just get it on Amazon. But at least we got a month down. All loaded up.
All right, fans, we are back ready for our main event to kick off in just a moment. Once again, take a moment, look in the description box down below this video. There are links there. You can also join us here at the Nation Network in helping Campers Cares. As we get ready to find out who is holding on to the title right now. Was Ric Flair able to successfully take that title back with him, or is it still in possession of Kevin Von Erich? We're going to head up to the ring for our final match of the evening. Bam Bam Terry Gordy waiting on the champion, and look at this. I don't see the belt, but Kevin comes out, and he is a house of fire. This is a totally different Kevin Von Erich over the last 7 days than we are used to. They tie up now, and Von Erich wasting no time, sending the big man into the corner. Bam Bam Terry Gordy is going to have the size and strength advantage. Free fall back to the middle of the ring. I am being told now, from the back, I am finding out that indeed Ric Flair has walked out with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship title belt. And he is once again recognized as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And that might have something to do with what we just saw from Kevin Von Erich. Bringing those elbows right into the head of Bam Bam Terry Gordy. And now Von Erich going up to the middle rope with a big splash down across the chest. There's a deep arm drag taking Kevin over, and I'll tell you, I've never seen him quite the way we see him here tonight. There is a mean streak, a level of anger, perhaps, that we've never seen before. Bam Bam Terry Gordy now hammering down. Series of right hands to the head of the man who many here in this building will consider to be the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And Ric Flair might have the title belt back. He might have recognition by the NWA. But there will be an asterisk right now until these two men get back in the ring one more time. Von Erich with that head scissor, and that holds Gordy in place for the elbows to come raining down. Fans, we invite you to stick around after the show is over for a special bonus program. We're going to be playing a very special round of Name That Call right here, following World Class Championship Wrestling. Don't have to go anywhere, just stick around. Series of right hands now by Bam Bam Terry Gordy, finding their mark on the forehead. You know, the question really now is raised, because he was stripped of that title, is he considered the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion? Bam Bam Terry Gordy into the steel post, courtesy of Kevin Von Erich. Follows him up with a drop kick into the turnbuckle. You know, I hate to say it, but perhaps having that title taken from him could have been one of the best things to ever happen, because we are seeing a different Kevin Von Erich, a level of intensity that we've never seen from him before, and that's saying quite a bit. From behind, belly to back, suplex, and he drops Bam Bam Terry Gordy. There are very few men in the sport of professional wrestling who can say that they were able to hand out the punishment to Bam Bam Terry Gordy that Kevin Von Erich is right here tonight. 1/3 of the Freebirds, and there's the Iron Claw. And he is really putting the squeeze on the temple. And that's all he can take. He can't take anymore. That was a tremendous victory right there, ladies and gentlemen. As we take a look back at this one, well, you can say he's not the NWA World Heavyweight Champion right now, but he hasn't lost in a while. And the last time he was in the ring with the NWA World Champion Ric Flair, his hand was raised at the end of the night, and he just took out 1/3 of the fabulous Freebirds by submission. There's your winner, Kevin Von Erich. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for World Class. Stick around for Name That Call when we return. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome, guys, back to the channel. Hope you enjoyed that. Haven't had a lot of time this week. I'm not going to have a lot of time this month, but I just had the itch I had a scratch, and yeah. I've been simming pretty much all the world-class stuff, so what happened over, I still haven't quite figured out what happened over at the Parade of Champions, because that wasn't supposed to be a non-DQ match, and everything that happened in that thing was like, what? So, yeah, we'll run with it for a little bit just to have fun as part of the Retro Rumble series. Oh, but once again, I want to thank you guys for being here and joining me. We got Andrew, Juan, Freddie, Dwight is here, Big JH, of course, Primetime, and Retro Wrestling Network is here. We're going to do a quick round here of Name That Call. I've got to set a couple things up first so that you can't see who it is. These are calls that I've made off stream. They're ready to go, but that means I've got to kind of strip them down to their bare basics so that you won't have any clues other than the face to work from. And see who's able to name that call. Ah, Retro. That's cool, man. You can go back later and watch the card. It was a decent show. Let me see. What do I need? I need this. I need this. And I need this. Okay. So I got to hide my screen from y'all until I'm set and ready to go. And see who can figure out, and the only clue I'm going to give you at all right now is that they're all going to be world-class championship wrestling personalities. That means that at one way or another, they have appeared in WCCW at some point in time in their careers. All right. And you have not seen them on the show yet. So I'm going to work on pulling them up here and then getting them ready where all you're going to see is the faces, no hair, nothing like that to help you out. Let me see. Who have you guys not yet seen? We just saw him now. Oh, this will probably be an easy one. Maybe it won't. We'll see. Let me bring this up in here. All right, here is your first call. Guess the call. Who is it? Somebody from World Class Championship Wrestling, at least at some point in his career. Might have been there just for a cup of coffee, yeah. Or he might have been there for a very long time. You got no hair, no costume, no facial hair, no nothing. Just that. First guess coming in is the missing link. Incorrect, but thank you for playing. We have 2 guessing the missing link, and 2 people are incorrect. Butcher. I'm not even sure who the butcher is, but the answer would be probably not. This is an individual with a first and last name. This is an individual who is a former tag team champion. I'm not saying he was in WCCW as a tag team champion, but in his career, he was a tag team champion. I actually thought this was going to be the easiest one. Let me see. Hold on. We've got Black Bart and Black Jack Mulligan, 2 guesses, and both are incorrect. Again, you're not getting any attires or anything to help you out with this one. And Juan Cordero. Ding, 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 ding. He guessed the natural. Well, he wasn't a natural back at this point. Butch Reed, and that is the correct answer. So Butch Reed will be coming here to the world-class shows in the not-too-distant future. And no retro, obviously not Iceman King Parsons, although I've considered, I don't know, I haven't really experimented on the hairs enough to know if I could pull a good one off. You really got to be able to get the cornrows down and make it look good. So, as of this time, I'm not looking at doing that. All right. Let me hide away everything as we go into our next character. So we got a lead of 1-0 for Juan Cordero. All right, this next one. And again, these are performers that you've not seen on the channel, in this case, ever. I'll be very impressed with whoever gets this right. I feel like somebody should. I'm always afraid I'm going to hit the wrong button and delete the whole thing. All right, are you ready? Name that call. Yeah, JYD's another not bad one to guess on. I have not done Mean Mark in a long time. I did do him. Hell, it might have been for my original 2K18 before I accidentally deleted it. I had him in an old WCW lineup. But definitely not for this one. And Sid's already in the game, so I wouldn't create him. Let's take a look. I feel like this face really did come out pretty damn good. If you're not familiar with who it turns out to be, and then you were to go back and watch some videos of this guy, then you would realize not too far off the mark. If that's supposed to be Bruno, then no. I guess I could see a little Bruno in there, though. I could turn that into a Bruno if I half tried to. Rugged Rod Price is incorrect. I'll give you a little bit of a clue. The man is currently in his 70s and still wrestles. And God love him, he looks like he's in his 50s. He's in amazing shape. There are 35-year-olds that would like to look like him. He doesn't have the most impressive win-loss record. Superstar Billy Graham is incorrect. You've seen him not just in World Class, but pretty much every wrestling promotion ever. And while Mike Jackson is an incorrect answer, you're in the right genre. It is not Austin. It is not Ace Austin. It is not Steve Austin. It is not any Austin. It is not Terry Funk. Remember the clues. Not a very impressive win-loss record. That means he doesn't win a lot. That pretty much eliminates Terry Funk, although I could probably turn that into a Terry Funk without too much difficulty. Randy Hogan, there's a name. But it's incorrect. All right, that sound means I think I got him. Here's a close-up. Last chance. It is not the Angel of Death. Final clue. His first name is the name of a 70s group that had an incredible #1 hit, and it probably was their only hit. The name of that band is the same as his first name. It is not Al Perez. Name that caller. Somebody's got to have it now, I hope. No, it's not Freddie. Definitely not Freddie. It is not the illegitimate love child of the Ultimate Warrior, Ric Flair. Let's rule these all things out. He's a perennial, I can't even, well, I guess you could call him a jobber, I guess, at the end of the day. Chris Von Erich. Nope, it's not Lance Von Erich either. Let me save you the pain and play. Here's a hint. All right, I think I finally got him. And that is the correct answer. Chick Donovan. Chick Donovan is the answer we were looking for. We got two different attires for old Chick. Again, he's wrestled WCW, WCCW, WWF, and generally just loses every match. I actually found one on YouTube that he won, so I could find out what his finisher was. But that wasn't easy.
So Chick Donovan. And by the way, Chick Donovan just wrestled like a few weeks ago from what I just found out online. And they had a clip of the match, and I forget who he wrestled against. Another guy who's definitely, up there. And damn it, my God, this guy's like 72 years old. He looks amazing. Oh, Retro, wait a minute. Did you sneak in? Oh, look at Retro. I missed it. My bad. You did get it. Well, congratulations. However, his name is spelled C-H-I-C, like Chic from the 1970s La Freak Out song. If you don't remember that, it's probably because you were able to bleach it from your memory. All right, that's 2 down. Who's next? Who's next? Oh, yeah, here's one I've been looking forward to. I feel like, I'd be very surprised if nobody gets this. I'm not saying it's like one of these obvious things that you should know right away. Hold on, let me just get them all ready to go. I think we'll start and zoom in. Name that call. Now, I will say this. He was a mainstay in WCCW back in the days. Primetime says, I was 5 when that song came out. Well, that's okay, buddy, because if you had listened to it enough, it would have stunted your growth. Anybody with an idea? I don't know what clues I can even give you on this one. No, it is not King Kong Bundy. We've already seen King Kong Bundy on the channel. This is somebody we've never seen on the channel before. It is not Brian Adias, although I'm kind of seeing his early work at this point. I'm not looking at putting him in at the moment. I've already got a pretty solid roster at this point of over 30 created wrestlers, which I had no plan on doing that with this game when I started messing with it a few weeks ago. But, yeah, I'm enjoying it, so why not? Chris Adams, no, because we've already seen Chris Adams. Buddy Roberts, we've also seen, plus he's in the game already, so I will never create a wrestler that's in the game. I feel like it's a waste of a slot. I'd just as soon come up with like a different attire or something like that if I wanted to change something about the wrestler, but I generally do not create wrestlers that are in the game. Trying to think if I can give you guys a clue. He's not a jobber. Not saying he wins all the time, but he's in that mid-card range. I mean, he can win a match and surprise you. Delayed laughter. Did I get you again? All right, last clue. His initials are FD. FD, like fire department. No, his name is not fire department. Yes, this is 2K18 we're in. The Great Muta. Definitely doesn't have the initials FD. No, it is not the Great Muta. That's you getting spanked. All right, last call. or I'm going to claim victory. All right, ready? Name that caw. Frank Dusek. There we go. Prime time with the win. Actually, I got the win on that one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Stumped them. I like the way he came out. And again, all of this obviously is after servers, therefore there's no face scans. You just have to make do with what you got in the game. Frank's a friend of yours on Facebook. I mean, how good a friend is he? Do you actually talk to him kind of thing? Or I enjoy his work. Like I said, I'm just like binging WCCW on the network, starting with season 1, and I'm about, oh goodness, probably like 32 weeks into season 1. And he plays a very large role in season 1. And I'm really just liking the more I watch like today's product, and watching SmackDown and Raw this week, and I'm like, gosh almighty, I miss how it used to be, because these guys, they were hitting each other. I mean, they were not pulling a lot. But I really, really like the way this one turned out. So, from an attire standpoint, he had, for a guy who was mid-card, my God, he had robes like Ric Flair would like to have. I mean, I can't tell you how many different robes the guys. I'm week 32, let's say. I think he's had 25 different robes. So here are the two attires we've gone with. We've got two different robes. He was a really good package. I'm surprised he didn't have more wins behind him, but he was very enjoyable. Like I said, I'm still seeing him, so. Well, tell him the Nation Network says hey, and we appreciate his work. All right, I've stumped you guys 2 out of 3 times, but let's see something here. I kind of like doing it this way than building them and having you watching while I build it and figure it out. Because this way I can basically strip everything down and just give you the bare bones. Who have we not seen yet? Oh, I guess that's everybody. All right. I could have done a Mark Lawrence, but then you just saw him, so that kind of defeats the purpose on that. Superstar Billy Dundee, was he in World Class? I know him obviously from Mid-South and USWA. Wanted to bring you my updated. We were doing the live stream when I built the Great Kabuki, but I have redone his makeup quite a bit. And I think now it looks much better than it did before. Even have some of that little green leftovers on his mouth from the spit. You got the mist sprayed out on his hands. And again, I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. Got 2 different attires. We got that lime green. And we've got the samurai headgear versus the, I don't know, is that a samurai or a ninja mask, technically, with that rectangular eye slit? I was going to go with Bill Mercer. That was my first thought, but then the more I always knew Mark Lawrence. Like when I was watching on ESPN back in the 80s, Mark Lawrence was the guy that I saw on TV most of the time. So I always associated him like I do Tony Schiavone with WCW and NWA back in the day before WCW took him over. So to me, Tony Schiavone is NWA WCW, and to me, Mark Lawrence is WCCW, just the way it is. Now,
Bill Mercer in the Iron Claw movie. I'm trying to figure out, was that an actor that damn near looked exactly like him? Or was that an actual, like, clip? No, it couldn't have been because it had the... No, because it had the actors in there playing the roles. And then I thought they just made him look younger, but after seeing him more recently, it's like, no, you couldn't have made him look that much younger. Matt Bourne's another one. I've done him in the past. It was a while back, and I could definitely see me adding him to the roster at some point in time. So we've got Al Madrill, some alternate attires for in-game characters. Again, I wouldn't make a character that's in the game. There is one thing we can do while we're here, though. I haven't been happy with this jacket. And while the one I want isn't going to be perfect, I'm going to see if I can get away with it anyway. No, not that one. Let's see. They used to have this jacket by itself, and now it comes with a shirt combo. Here, this might be it. Nope, that's not it. I swear to God, I thought it was in the WWE lineup. Am I wrong? Or maybe it's under tops. I mean, yeah, I think that's what it is. They throw you some curveballs once in a while. They'll put something under tops that you'd swear would be under jackets. I think they did that with the LOD's shoulder pads. Now, what the heck? Well, I know what I'm looking for is here because I've seen it while I was building others. And I said, you know, I'm going to go back and grab that for Garvin and see how it looks. Maybe it's under generic, but I didn't think so. I still don't think so. No, it's not. Oh, let's see. It's kind of a tux jacket kind of thing, but it's got the tails. And it's the only one that does. So if you find it, it's right there, and boom. I was always a Terry Taylor fan, man. Most underrated. He did well when he was in, like, you know, Mid-South and, you know, working with Bill Watts and Jim Ross and all that stuff. Had him as the TV champion for UWF. And even when he first joined on board with WCW, I think they gave him a decent little mid-card push. But I always thought he was better than that. It was just one of those things I couldn't figure out. It's like, and then WWE got a hold of him and just, jeez Louise. Talk about screwing the pooch, man. Now I'm starting to think this has to be under jackets because it isn't appearing here. Must be under jackets and I just missed it. Let's try this one more time. Jackets. It's not that. This might be it. Damn it, no. Looks a lot like it, though. Where is this son of a bitch hiding? Literally going one at a time at this point. There you are, bitch. All right. Go with the glitter. We'll leave that. There you go. That definitely looks better. I have no idea why it took so long to find that jacket. Yes, which variation of the Midnight Express? Bobby Eaton and it was Dennis Condrey, I'm presuming. I know it wasn't Stan Lane. And thus far, I've really just not attempted to do any of the women. Obviously, Sunshine was there, and Patty, Jimmy's wife. It's weird. I'm remembering her real name, but I can't remember her stage name right now. Precious, there it is. It's been a rough week for Sleep Boys. All right, so there's our alts. We got Bruiser Brody we've seen already. Bill Irwin, I haven't brought him in yet, but I plan to eventually. Andre, all right, so I said I don't make guys that are in the game. In this case, I had no choice because Andre in the 70s and 80s was not Andre that's in the video games. So that's the lone exception. But I did copy everything else, like the moves and stats and all that stuff. And Flair's an alt attire so we can have some promo work. Yeah, it was Bobby and Dennis. And that, in honesty, a part of me wants to say that was my favorite variation of the Midnight Express. No, I don't think it was. I do think it was Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton at the end of the day, but it's really close. I don't even know why I would say that it is. I just feel that it is. I guess I saw more of Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton throughout the Rock and Roll Express feud and all that stuff, and my memories are with that team. I've done the Fantastics in the past. I wouldn't say no to them necessarily ending up here eventually. Again, there's Butch Reed, who I just did the other day, and Schick Donovan. Frank Dusek, the Dingo Warrior, David Von Erich, Chris Adams, Gary Hart we did here together, along with the great Kabuki. Harley Race, think about this. There's Harley Race, there's King Kong Bundy, right? They are the same basic face from the Creation Suite. And then you just do all your tweaks and hairs and everything else after the fact. Gino Hernandez and Chris Adams. I do think I'm going to be doing Gino Hernandez in the not too distant future, but I haven't started on him or decided I'm going to yet. But again, Harley Race didn't have great tattoos to work from and can't import anything, so I just had to do the best I could with what I had to work with. But again, that's the same face that you get with the King Kong Bundy and all the heavy set guys that you might go with. And I was able to morph it to the point where I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I mean, I think there's a big difference if we take a look at this. Yeah, Black Bart, the death of WCCW being their world champion. I don't know what they were even thinking. I mean, the guy was a perennial mid-carder. You're going to put your world title on him? So here's Bundy. And again, it all started out as the same face. But just by putting these different little touches and doing the morphing and stuff, you can take that same face and make it look like a totally different person. But I'm actually happy with the way this Bundy turned out. Especially without a face scan of any kind. And back at this point in his career, he was a big guy, but he wasn't huge the way he ended up being against Hogan and stuff like that. And I'm probably not going to keep Mark Lawrence. I already got the video I need to have him ringside and doing interviews and stuff like that, so I don't necessarily need to keep the wrestler character here. But God knows I got plenty of empty slots, so it ain't hurting nothing to have him there. The Magic Dragon, I did update him. I made him the Magic Dragon and not just the Dragon. He debuted as the Dragon. And he has a ponytail. There's no way to put a mask on and have a ponytail come through it. Some of the older games, you could actually do that. You could put a ponytail on him and it would bleed out of the mask. And I thought I'd find a way to do that, or I thought maybe there'd be an attachment that you could put on the mask that would look like a ponytail. But the best I could come up with is put a headband on him, and that would flow out the back, and that's got to be my ponytail. But we definitely went with a Japanese wrestler to make it accurate. And again, two different attires. He has this, I know it's supposed to be like some sort of I don't know if it's a samurai outfit type thing, but it's definitely a historic garb that he starts out wearing with this. But then later on switches it up a little bit. And unfortunately, you can't put a sash around that to make it look a little bit better. Then he starts going to a more open mouth where you can see the mouth and chin better, and the fact that he has a mustache. And that's where I went with that. I love Blackjack Mulligan, man. That was one big man that could just move. Even when he did his last run in WWF during the Saturday Night Main Event era, he had a couple of matches with Ron Bass, and man, he hit with that buckshot elbow where he'd send the guy into the ropes. He'd be rebounding off the ropes, and Blackjack would just kind of bounce up into the air and throw that back elbow, and they'd collide, and man, it just looked like there was a ton of impact on that thing. And you talk about hereditary. I mean, if you watch this channel, then you know that my all-time favorite wrestler, it's a tie between Tito Santana and Barry Windham. And Barry Windham, to me, just every match just looked beautiful. They were great matches, smooth as silk. It felt real, you know, like there was impact and all that. And then when I think back to Blackjack, and I'm like, well, yeah, the apple didn't fall far from the tree, because Blackjack had all the same stuff, man. He might not have had quite the same style. You know, Barry had a little bit more razzle-dazzle to his, which I think got him over in a different kind of way. But, yeah. Definitely can see the similarities, even in their wrestling style, between father and son. I think that's it. Oh, the spoiler. Take a quick look at the spoiler. When I made my first rendition of him, I wasn't really happy at all because they don't have a spoiler mask or a spoiler mask design. And I just kind of went with one design that was kind of similar, but it just failed in general. And I was like, nah, I can't. And I was going to just delete them all together. And then it's, well, let me take a closer look at the actual images of the design of the mask. And once I did that, I realized, you know what, we can create this. Oh, I've got a red version too, by the way. Red mask, black tights. And here's how we did it. So for the eyes, we went ahead and used these ovals. That's it right there. I'm not going to save any of this anyway, so I can move them around a little bit, but that's what we did with that. And that would be the other eye. And now for the nose and mouth area, we took these shapes here, and basically, let me see here. If we go here. So you can see that one kind of goes there. And this one had to turn it to the side to get, because we didn't get any triangles until this year's game. There was no friggin' triangles until 23. But if you turn these things sideways in somewhat catty corner, you can make a triangular point out of them. And then that one, same idea, turned it catty corner, got our triangular tip. And then this last one basically just fills in between the eyes. Oh, I take it back. All right, so these two make the points on the mask, and then the last one fills in between the eyes. There it is. Bam. Just like that. And that's how I make the spoilers mask design. Of course, he had several different ones, but this is the one that I see him in for WCCW the most thus far. And I think it's more recognizable than, so he had that big S across the mask, which I thought looked kind of stupid, to be honest. Oh, prime time. I'm not against doing cross-promotional stuff. I've done it in the past. And never say never. You know, we got Rick Martel in the game, and I am using him a little bit here and there. I do recognize him here as the AWA World Champion, which automatically made me think, hey, we could. But, you know, that's a lot more work and a lot more time. And I can't tell you guys how busy my next 3 months are going to be. I'm up every day at 4 a.m. I don't get home till, if I'm lucky, 4 p.m. And I'm dead tired by that time. So creating another roster at this point in time would take a long time to happen. And I have done an AWA roster, and I can't remember what year it was, though. I guess I could go through my channel stuff and I'd figure it out easy enough, but I haven't decided to do that yet. Be a real funny thing if it turned out to be 2K18, which I deleted. And that is the current roster, plus a few of the ones that, you know, like the Von Erichs, you didn't see them there because they're already in the game, and the Freebirds. So there's another, 6 or 5, because we saw Jimmy Garvin. And I think total right now on the roster is like 41. So as it is, I don't have enough matches and match time to get a lot of them on the way I'd like to, so I'm probably not going to add a whole lot more right now. Down the line, we might add some more, maybe have some losers leave town matches so that I can make room and more TV time for some of these other ones. Yeah, the Spoiler has been one of those guys that's been around everywhere. He was in the WWF for a short stint back in the early 80s, I want to say. I remember him being at Madison Square Garden. And even a couple of TV programs like Saturday morning wrestling kind of stuff. Yeah, I get you, man. There is a serious grind when you take any kind of title. And I'm getting to this point now where I'm like, I don't need, I mean, I'm not a rich person by any stretch of the imagination, but I could get by if I decided, listen, I'm done right now with the 40-hour weeks and all the stress and headache that go with being, you know, in my case, what they call a site manager. I overlook an entire division. There's so much crap that goes with that. Your phone is ringing night and day. You have no time to yourself. And the money ain't that great. I mean, it's better than I was making before, but it's still, for what I'm giving up, is it worth the balance? And to me, I'm kind of thinking, not really. You know, I got money in the bank. I got a house that's almost paid off. So if I had to do a reverse mortgage, I've got enough money to last me the rest of my life, because how old are we going to live to be anymore? I mean, we got this nut job in the White House trying to blow us up every day. So, I don't know. I'd hate to think to myself that I drop dead tomorrow and all that money's just sitting there. There's that double entendre thing that goes on where it's like, part of you might say, I want to know how much more time I have left so that I can budget myself. And then the other part is, you don't really want to know. I mean, what if it's tomorrow? That's going to suck. But more and more as I get older, I start leaning towards, I'll take my chances. How much time do I got? Peace of mind, brother. Easier said than found, in my opinion. That was not Mr. Wrestling, buddy. That was the Spoiler. There were assassins, too, though. I think, I don't know if it was the same assassins that we had, like, in WCCW, with the, you know, kind of rounded dudes with the yellow masks. There have been a lot of assassins going through professional wrestling. Yeah, Mr. Wrestling is one of those masked characters that had multiple people play him, like Doink and like Friday that accompanied Kamala to the ring. Just a number of different performers under the mask for these characters over the many years. And somebody was asking earlier in the stream, but I was in the middle of doing the show thing, so I don't break character during that, about my thoughts. And we're going to do a wrestle chat in the near future, I hope. Maybe I'm off Monday. That's my only day off, is Monday for like 2.5 weeks. That's how crazy it is. But maybe if I've got any energy left in me, we might do something there and talk a little bit about the state of the union when it comes to the WWE right now. I think they are on the cuspice of fucking the biggest pooch in the world. I hope I'm wrong. I just have all the faith in the world of them to fuck this up. A year ago, would I have wanted to see Rock against Roman? Yes. 2 years ago? Yeah, sure. Now, get the fuck out of the way. And not just because The Rock is showing his age. I mean, don't get me wrong. The man's in great shape. His arms are bigger than my waist. Well, not anymore. It's not. But I'm just saying, he's got some arms on him, and he's in good shape and all that. But you look at his face, and the age is showing. And I guarantee you the in-ring is not going to be what it was. And how does it help? I mean, even if they turn it into a triple threat match, which I'm afraid is what they're going to do, it just sucks. I mean, Cody's going to get fucked over in this deal. I can feel it. They might have him and Seth have one blowout match, to finally once and for all. But that's not the right title. And everybody knows it. That doesn't end the story. Yeah, there are a lot of free agents zipping around. I was so heartbroken to see Deonna Purrazzo showing up on that shit brand AEW wrestling. Especially because Impact is going to be where I'm working in like 2 weeks for a 2-day taping. And I got to meet her the last time they were out here. I am telling you what, one of the most sweetest human beings you will ever meet. And just you look in her eyes and you fall into her eyes. It's just the most amazing young lady. So yeah, to hear that she's going there, I was kind of like, no, not that. Go to WWF or stay at Impact, because I love her at Impact. I think that's a great place for her. She'll get a bigger paycheck. Can't fault her for that. I always worry about talent like her going to a place where there's no real law and order. And that the inmates have taken control of the asylum, and a lot of them haven't been trained on proper methods and techniques, and people are getting hurt on a really regular basis. I mean, look, Charlotte got hurt too. I know. Okay, that was a stupid freak accident, and that's part of wrestling. And if that's what would happen in AEW, I wouldn't bash them. But with AEW, they do stupid shit that the promoter allows them to do. And CM Punk, I don't know. It's like I look at him and The Rock in the same light, and I think part of it has to... It's real easy to say, well, keep politics out of it, but you can't. Because they keep bringing him in. Punk can't do it anymore because now he's under the banner. But over in AEW, he's coming down to the ring wearing all kinds of shirts with different messages on them that were very divisive. And we're watching wrestling to get away from that bullshit. Give us 2 hours of forgetting about everything that's wrong right now in our culture. And here he comes waving a flag in front of your face. So I've kind of lost a lot of respect for Punk, and I've never understood the draw. I just don't get it. These mega pops that he gets, I don't get it. The guy, it looks like he weighs about 205 pounds, which means he's about my weight. Is he in better shape than me? Yeah, of course he is. But not that much better. I mean, I don't know how many push-ups he can pull, but I can at least be in the fight up to 50. I tell you this right now. My money says this. Mercedes shows up at the Rumble. She had a great relationship with Triple H, and her and Bayley are besties. And Bayley's about to get screwed over, and she's going to need help. I truly believe with all my heart that Sasha shows up at the Rumble. And if not, then chances are pretty strong she'll end up in AEW. WWE can pay her more money than AEW can. Fact. They may or may not. And the fact of the matter is this, too. Sasha is great. She is a really talented wrestler, but she isn't all that. She's not the greatest. She's not the best out there. She's one of the better ones for sure. But I would, maybe not today, but a year or two ago, I'd have said Becky was above her. Now they're about even. Rhea is way above Sasha. I mean, night and day. If we're going on a scale of 1 to 10 and Ripley's at a 9, then Sasha's going to have to fall in around a 7. Yes, I heard also about Camille, and my initial reaction was kind of like, And then I'm thinking to myself, it's WWE. They know how to build. They know how to take somebody that has talent and make them into a superstar. Camille has the look. I always enjoyed her in NWA. I thought when she was Nick Aldis's bodyguard figure, kind of like Chyna, I thought that was a good thing. She was very believable. She didn't speak for how long. I thought that was pretty clever, and I knew why. I said, that means she doesn't know how to cut a promo yet, but that's okay. And, yeah, her promo skills are going to definitely get worked on in NXT, and that's great. She'll need that. But she's got the look, and I think that they will do a good job of developing her in-ring work. And Billy Corgan couldn't. Not on his best day. So I'm happy for her. And I definitely think it's the right place for her to go next. I mean, that goes without saying. There's nothing in AEW that's going to develop her. One King, what's happening, man? We're just shooting the shit after a WCW show took place earlier on. So, yeah, I'll be happy to see Camille. And, of course, there's also the AJ Lee factor. I don't think she comes back. I think she does maybe tag with Punk for one match. Maybe at a pay-per-view, maybe like, it'd be fun to see them do a one-off Saturday night's main event just for old time's sakes. They've done that in the past. It's been a long time. Jade Cargill is not going to be NXT, buddy. No. Matter of fact, she may be the winner of the Rumble. I can't imagine that they'll put her in the Rumble and have her lose, or not win the Rumble, unless you put her in there and have somebody really screw her over to get her eliminated, and that sets up a feud between her and that person. So that's a possibility, and probably better odds than her winning the Rumble, in all honesty, because you don't want to blow off as much as Jade Cargill against Rhea for WrestleMania, that's pretty much a WrestleMania match. But I feel like it would be too quick. I feel like a year from now, that's the match. But hey, what do I know? All right, boys and girls, I got to be up at 4:30 in the morning, so I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thank you for being here with me. Thanks for playing along with our Name That Call. I stumped you guys a couple of times tonight. Yes, I did. Who ain't ready for Raw SmackDown? Jade Cargill? I'm not even a big Jade Cargill fan, and I'm here to tell you, yeah, she's ready. She's ready. She'll be there. Again, they're not putting her on right. I mean, they've had her for over a month now. They're training the shit out of her. You haven't seen her. Just because she's come out in a backstage segment for like 2 seconds here and there for a couple of weeks, you haven't seen her in over 2 months. You have no idea what she's ready to do. I guarantee you she's already... Her in-ring work was good enough, and she's got people that can make her look better until she gets the total package together. If they've got the promos working even better, they were okay in AEW. They weren't great, but they were okay. She drew legitimate heat. So I think we're going to see it. All right. She barely passed AEW. Well, look, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not even an AEW fan. Everyone knows that. And I thought she was pushed too fast too soon. Not because of her talent, just because I thought she was pushed too fast too soon. I thought you should have done a little bit more of a slow burn build-up on her. And like you did with Goldberg. Goldberg didn't just go after Hulk Hogan for the title. You know, he had 100 and blah, blah, blah number of wins before he got to Hogan in Atlanta. And I felt like they just rocketed her, like, 4 matches in, boom, you're the women's champion. It's like, But anyway, it's Tony's money. He can do what he wants. And apparently, a lot of drugs. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by and hanging out. And I'm not going to promise nothing, but I'm going to shoot for Monday, see if we can do something on Monday. But until then, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time right here on the Nation Network. So long from ringside.